I'm doing great, and I'm glad to be here. Again, just love the channel, love the community. I'm definitely looking at comments, and I appreciate the engagement and interest that everyone has on these stories. So love being here today.
They love you, and get excited. Chris is in our trailer, which he just got a sneak peek of. It's looking good, huh, Chris? Not giving it away. It looks good, doesn't it?
This is you've really gotten good at this stuff with your team, and it's so professionally done, and I'm excited to watch.
Blake Lively's name is in the headlines again, but this time it's not for her latest movie role. This is a legal drama between Blake and Justin Baldoni that's got the entire industry buzzing. Did she really win, or is her celebration premature? Stick around as we break down the truth behind Blake Lively's legal battle, the PR drama, and the powerful reactions from both sides.
Wait till you hear Chris's soundbite. He's spot on as always. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this because this just upset me, Chris. I know you're going to give us a little bit of good news in that she's running on fumes. This is not as good as she thinks it is. But what I found so sickening, there's two topics I want to talk about. This and obviously the other one where Blake's still trying to claim she is going to be able to get emotional distress. We're going to talk about why this is so confusing and get Chris's perspective. But I want to start here because her publicist has made some quotes here that are just, I don't know what the hell they're thinking. I mean, they're desperate in my point of view, but here's the quote, okay?
Just last week, Blake Lively was seen celebrating at the Tribeca Festival, acting as if she had won the entire case against Justin Baldoni. But here's the catch. The court didn't rule in her favor the way she's claiming. The judge didn't declare her statements true, nor did he say Baldoni's allegations were false.
19 leading survivors and organizations devoted to women's rights, children's rights, and DV have now signed on to 4 separate amicus briefs. A spokesperson for Lively shared on Thursday to Us Weekly. All are united in opposing Justin Baldoni's attempt to dismantle a law designed to protect women who speak up simply to protect himself. The statement noted that the latest briefs, which have been filed by Child USA, Sanctuary for Families, added the voices of renowned nonprofit victim advocates and experts from around the world who are dedicated to safeguarding.
What he did say was that Blake's statements were covered by privilege under the law, meaning she can't be sued for defamation based on them. But does that really mean she won? Despite the court's ruling, Blake's PR machine is pushing a different narrative.
The rights and well-being of people who speak up. Several organizations have signed on, include National Organization of Women, Women's Justice Now, National Network to End Domestic Violence. I had no shame to anything. I've never heard. There's always a group that can sign up for anything. Rather than defend this case, his case on fact, Baldoni is now contradicting years of his own public persona, abandoning the message of his Me Too YouTubes, podcasts, TED Talks, and interviews where he once upon a time urged men to listen to the women in your life.
On Instagram, she posted about standing alongside 19 organizations defending women's rights. She claimed, "The suit against me was defeated." But let's pause. Did the judge actually side with her? Or is this more about controlling the public narrative? And what's really happening behind the scenes?
To hold their anguish and actually believe them, even if what they're saying is against you. The statement concluded, these women and organizations are sounding the alarm about his Darvo tactics and the chilling effect they could have well beyond the case. Chris, man, this is crazy because she's basically like, I might not be telling the truth, but he's not allowed to tell me I'm not, is how I read this. So believe me or else all other women will have trouble. So you better believe me. I mean, is this frustrating you as well? What are your thoughts?
As Blake takes to Instagram, proudly claiming her victory, the reality is much murkier. While it may feel like a win, the truth of her statements has yet to be proven. Is Blake painting herself as the champion for women's rights when the legal facts aren't as clear-cut as she suggests?
Yeah, this does frustrate me. And we saw something similar to that in Depp Heard, where the ACLU aligned itself with Amber Heard and put its reputation on the line to protect what the jury found to be malicious statements about Johnny. Now, so we're kind of seeing something similar to that here. So what happens in court is that sometimes a organization or individual can go in and say, hey, I have subject matter knowledge or expertise on this issue, judge, that you're going to be reviewing. And so I am, as a friend of the court, going to present my kind of viewpoint on this to help you, to educate you, to make your decision better.
Now, let's talk about Blake's emotional. distress claims. She originally filed for emotional distress, accusing Justin of causing her significant harm. But when Justin's team requested her therapy records to verify her claims, Blake quickly dropped the case. Why would she run away?
That's fine. I've done it myself. These are these amicus briefs. Now, what happens though is that a lot of times they come in there just to advocate for a position on behalf of a party as if they actually knew what they were talking about as to the underlying facts when they have no clue what happened. Now, all of these organizations, and they may be all perfectly good organizations and super expert on the areas that they advocate for, have no better ability to determine truth from falsity than any of the rest of us, or certainly the judge.
From providing evidence if her case was truly strong, this is a crucial turning point in the legal battle. As Christopher Meltro points out, Blake's inability to back up her claims with evidence significantly weakens her position. When you drop claims, especially such serious ones, it makes you wonder why she didn't want to expose those records to the court.
The judge does not need the National Organization of Women to tell the judge whether something happened or not. That's what we have a court case for, with testimony and documents and a jury or judge deciding it. So when I've looked at some of these briefs, what they're advocating for is saying protected speech by Blake. She had the right to speak out about the SA or whatever she was claiming, and she can't be sued for it. And there's a California law, which is California Civil Code Section 47.1. So 47.1 protects people who speak out against SA, whether they file in court or not, that they can't be sued for it.
So, what does the case look like now? It's a classic he said, she said battle, and it's a fight that's playing out in both the courtroom and the media. Blake Lively is the plaintiff, and Justin Baldoni is the defendant. As the case continues, it's clear that both sides have their own set of tactics.
Unless certain conditions are satisfied. What these groups are seizing on is he can't sue her for this because this is protected speech, and he is the abuser. You need to stop this, judge. We know what we're talking about. This is going to impact all women. What they're leaving out is that the statute says she cannot be sued for these allegedly defamatory statements that were made by her against Justin unless it was done maliciously, and her statements have to be factual.
But is Blake's PR narrative truly backed by the facts? Christopher is absolutely right. This battle isn't about who's getting the most attention. It's about who can prove their claims in court. And right now, Justin Baldoni's team seems to have the stronger legal foundation, providing hard evidence to counter Blake's allegations.
So they're leaving out those two really, really important, qualifications and just saying, well, just because Blake says that I didn't, say anything wrong, and all my statements are true, therefore this is an affront against all women on planet Earth. That is absolutely ridiculous, way outside their area of expertise when they're not even properly applying the statute and do more harm probably to women than any help that they're doing.
Despite the legal setbacks, Blake's PR team continues to push the narrative that she's a voice for women. But as we dive deeper into the case, it's becoming increasingly clear that Blake's public persona might be far more important to her than the actual legal outcome. While Blake's team is working overtime to portray her as a victim, the question remains, how much of this is about getting sympathy and how...
Yeah, well said, because that's what's so frustrating to me exactly. Like, she's not dropping evidence. Even though they're both doing this PR plan and they're both out there, promoting themselves, putting things out there, both sides have been doing that. Justin at least has been dropping evidence and facts and stuff that's made us all see things differently. All Blake does is keep just, I'm a victim and look at this. These women organizations believe me. Why isn't he believing me? It's like, that's not how it works. You need evidence, right? And that's the problem. Like one of these women in the amicus brief, it's just funny because her name is Elisa Dorsey. We've been looking up her, but go look it up. She's there because she sued her boss